we are gonna be tier listing and ranking Isaac mods that you guys actually sent me. I got a list of 16 different modded items here. We're gonna go one by one, playing a few minutes with each of these items to see if we like the mod and if we need to keep the mod for the rest of our file forever. Going from download now to really cool to it's pretty neat to the mod is not for me, and the mod is just too silly. Every single mod in the Binding of Isaac is fantastic, and the only reason I don't want it is because it's too silly for me. The only mod I've actually played with here is this one, Retractor Beam. Quality 0 item. It gives you 1 maximum tier rate alongside plus 0.5 damage, which seems fantastic. But the way this works is your tiers are now fired from your range back towards your face. So that's how this item works. The tier will always stop right where your face is. Luckily enough, you can shoot over rocks. If you couldn't, this would be horrendous. But fellas, this mod, I've played with it before. We've made a video on this before just to cover this specific item and all the cool synergies, because this mod does have a lot of cool synergies. It is very cool. It is very fun. I'm not going to go super in detail, but fellas, for tier list purposes, go download it, fellas. It's a fun mod. It's like a wacky Tiny Planet version of the mod. If you love Tiny Planet, if you love the Wiz, this item is like on par with those in terms of silliness and just making the run different and fun. If you're watching the YouTube video in the future, they'll all be linked in the description, fellas. Definitely go check them all out. So fellas, we got 3 other items we're looking at from Fiend Folio here. The first one submitted by Goopster. I believe I've seen this item in the past from a Huts video. It is the Dogboard. It is quality 0, but look at it spin. And you ride on a cool skateboard. And you do a cool little flip. I'm now seeing you don't stop. I'm not pressing anything. He just kind of goes. Okay, for the purposes of testing out the item, we are obviously going to be debug 10ing, or debug 8, to give ourselves infinite item charges. Now, this is what Isaac is all about. You go on the Z-axis, get above your enemies. Fellas, this is wacky. This is a wacky fun item. Why is it a 4-room charge, though? 4-room charge seems like a lot. This is basically just how to jump, but you have momentum. So I think this is, like, realistically just a challenge item. For the purposes of this tier list, it is a funny, wacky item. But for me, Dogboard, I think it's a little bit too silly. It's silly to the point where I don't think I'll be able to use it properly ever. A 4-room charge just to do 1 ollie? Okay, fellas, I'm sorry. Dogboard goes in too silly tier. It's too much. Submitted by Funland Builder over in my Discord, but Cherry Bomb from Fiend Folio. Cherry Bomb, it is a quality 2 active item. On use, the player picks up a small red bomb that deals no damage to the player and doesn't break rocks. Okay. Okay. It's just a little mini bomb? I'm guessing it does damage to enemies. I would only assume. Okay, it's like a smaller little explosion. Oh, it's a very small explosion. So you're meant to only use this for damage. It does 22 damage. Comparing that to a normal bomb, which I believe just does 40. Never mind, it does 100. So it does 1/5 of a bomb's damage. Here's the test. Does it open up secret rooms? Does not. Okay. Does it work with bomb synergies? That's a great question. Does this work with bomb synergies? Oh. So this does work with bomb synergies. This is actually really cool then. Because if you have any bomb synergy, then this is actually sick. Because I mean, this you can use it multiple times per room. This is really cool, actually. I am a big fan of that. I think Cherry Bomb, fellas, this Cherry Bomb's like in between. Since it is in Fiend Folio, I don't want to live with Fiend Folio. I just want the 1 item. So I'll put it in really cool. It's really cool. Next up, we have an item submitted by Vicfis. Vicfis also submitted an item from Fiend Folio. Birthday Gift. Replaces all found items with Mystery Gift. Rerolls all special/fixed drops are not affected. So things like the Polaroid or Dad's Note aren't affected by this. Wait, I thought it was an active item. Am I insane? You're saying if I go to the item room, it'll be a Mystery Gift in there? Because I thought it was an active item that had charges and would replace an active item I see with Mystery Gift. But now, no, every single pedestal now is just going to be a Mystery Gift. But now I can go into my secret room and use my Mystery Gift to get lard, and I can't, like, cheese it. Okay. But if I use the D6 on it, does it turn into a gift too? No. Okay, so it's only new pedestals that generate after you find it. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so that is actually very interesting. I see why it's a quality 4. It basically just guarantees everything you get is going to be a secret room item, more or less. Okay, no, I think that's super sick. I think it's horrendously broken. For me, the item is a little bit too broken. I'm gonna put in not for me sad face. I do like how the item works. If anything, I think this should just be a challenge. This being an actual item, I think it's way too broken. And I think there's a certain point with mods that are specifically too broken for the sake of being broken, where it's not really fun anymore, at least for me. Sunstruck recommended the item Terra with a question mark from Heaven's Call. Heaven's Call? Is someone gonna pick it up? Nope. So the item we're looking at is called Terra, but it's not the Terra we all know. So this is Terra, but with a question mark. Again, it is a quality 3 like normal Terra. What it does, apples will start spawning on the floor. On pickup, a giant snake will target the vulnerable enemy with the most health. While the apple is on the floor, it will grow until stage 3. The higher the stage, the stronger the snake. The snake doesn't hurt me. I don't understand, but there's going to be an apple, a tree, and a snake. Fellas, is this a reference to the Bible? Oh, apple. Do I pick it up? Do I pick up the apple? Where'd it go? Oh my god! Apple? Oh. So it says something about the thing growing. So I'm assuming it'll grow until stage 3. So I guess let's let it grow. It did grow. Okay, stage 2. It's just a bigger snake. Got it. So I guess let me wait until the apple upgrades all the way to stage 3. And let's see what happens. Because I'm assuming it's just going to be a huge snake. Okay, it takes around 20 or so seconds for it to upgrade all the way. So a stage 3 apple is a really big snake. A really big snake. Now I'm curious. Let me spawn a dummy. How much damage does the fully upgraded snake do? Because depending on how much damage it does, that'll tell me how broken the item is. Okay. Fully upgraded. Okay, a rough, more or less, 8,700 damage. Okay, so let's try that again, but with the level 2 version. Okay, level 2 snake is 100 free, 5,000 damage. And the level 1... The level 1 still does 2,500 damage. Yeah, this seems broken. This seems broken. If you have any kind of item, like, if you have non-leaf, and you just wait for the apple to grow up, and then you go and pick it up, you just won. Let me go to the boss. Actually, can I go to Hush? I'm gonna walk in there with only this item. And we're just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait. Because I know Hush has boss armor, so I'm sure this is not going to straight up do 8,000 damage to him. Give me Spider Mod as well, just so we know. Okay, fully upgraded. It's just one-shots it. Okay. Well, I guess let's do it again. Where's the apple? Perfect. Now, will this one-shot phase 2? Keep in mind this item is only quality 3. Fully upgraded. All right. And the apple spawned even before it's done. All right, did around, what, a fifth, a sixth of its health bar? And honestly, waiting till the max may not be the play. Yeah, no, you don't want to wait for the max. Wait for the level 2. The level 2 level up doesn't take too long. Anyways, this item is broken. If I was good enough, you could you can't one-shot with this, but you only need this one item for the whole fight. So fellas, this item, absolutely busted broken. Where's it at? Now, I think because of that, I think it's unique enough to go in pretty neat. I don't think it's not for me. There are some circumstances where I could have fun with this. I would assume it does not synergize with any other item. It kind of just does what it does. I don't think it's really cool. If it had more synergies, I would definitely throw it in really cool. Let's do the tier 2. Tier 2, we know, did around 5,000-ish damage without BFF. And with BFF, it does around the same. Okay. So it looks like it's not affected by BFF. Now, if it had any sort of synergy, we all know it would definitely synergize with Brimstone. Okay, it does not look like it has a synergy with Brimstone. Got it. So yeah, it doesn't have synergies, which isn't the end of the world. I like the idea. I think it's way too broken. I would tune down the damage quite a bit to make it at least a little balanced, but it is fun though. I like the concept. It's very cool. Next one up, we got submitted by Moonmouse from the mod Isaac's Keyboard. The shift key is a quality 4 item, 12 room charge active. On use, if the player is normal, they will become tainted, and tainted will become normal. So do I just flip into my tainted counterpart? Is that what this is, like a very specific clicker? Okay, that is exactly what happens. What is the use case here? And I'm assuming this does not affect enemies in the room, but I want to see. Okay, it doesn't do anything to the enemies. But I'm curious, at least for at least Isaac to Tainted Isaac. If I give myself more than 8 items. Okay, I have a whole bunch of sad onions. If I flip, my item list goes down to only 8. And if I flip back, I lose all of those items. Okay, that's terrible for Isaac. That's terrible for Isaac. You just lose items whenever you use it. But what is the use case here? Why is this quality 4? I mean, the only reason would be for unlocks and to cheese unlocks. So you play normal Lost, you hold on the shift key until the very end of the run, shift key into Tainted Lost, and get the W. It's a funny concept, I agree. I'm still thinking it probably has a lot more use, because the reason clicker is bad is not just because it takes away one of your items, it's just because the character it turns you into is completely random. But with the shift key, it is not random. It is very set. So you can plan around it if you find it on a specific character. I think playing Isaac with this is probably not a bad character, or it probably is a bad character to play it on. Like someone like Cain is a perfect example. Because if, say for some reason, this item is really bad and we don't want it for whatever reason, you can shift to Tainted Cain and just pick it up and get consumables instead of it. That is an option you have. Another alternative you have is if you are Tainted Cain, and you really want to pick up an item, you can shift to normal Cain and pick it up, and then shift back into Tainted Cain later to get the marks you want. So I think using this on Tainted Cain is probably one of the best use cases. I think there are some very niche characters that this would be good on to flip back and forth. I don't think Judas would be the best either. I mean, the additional damage you would get and Dark Arts for going in and out of curse rooms wouldn't be bad. Eve to Tainted Eve. Do you lose your clots? If you're Tainted Eve and make a clot, I'm assuming you keep all the clots you make. And then we flip back. So we are normal Eve now, and we keep our clots. Wait, did I keep the starting items? Am I going crazy? Because I start off as normal Eve, and I shift to Tainted Eve. I keep the items. Oh, okay, so you keep the starting items for the character. I don't know why you thought you didn't. Okay, so yeah, we basically just gave Tainted Eve the benefits of being Eve. I mean, that's a good use case then. Because, I mean, Tainted Eve with normal Eve starting items, it's just a better character. Do you keep the mantle as the Lost? What a great question. Well, I guess technically Holy Mantle is not a starting item on the Lost. It's just kind of in the background. So I use shift as Lost. The health bar still shows I have mantle, but if I go into a new room, I lose my mantle. Because I technically never used a holy card. Okay, this is not good. Got it. Understood. Let me test Bethany as well. Bethany, I don't think would do much. Because I know Tainted Bethany can only have soul hearts, while normal Bethany can only have red hearts. No. But now I only have 2 soul hearts. Okay, and if I shift back, I only have 1 red heart, and I use it again, I have 2 soul hearts and 1 red heart. What happened to my red hearts? What's happening? You just lose HP every time you use it on Bethany? That's terrible. That's terrible. A Forgore? Would Forgore break the game? Let me split up and I use it. Okay. It does, in fact, break the game. Anyways, fellas, it simply crashed. And because of this reason, fellas, shift key, very interesting in concept. I think it's not for me. I think there are some really cool use cases for it, but I think it's way too specific. It's not, well, I think it's neat. I don't think it's not for me, because I think there are some cool cases where you want to use it. I just wish it had some better use cases for other characters. It's in the category of things that I think are a cool idea, but they need to be fleshed out a bit more for me to think they're really cool or to download. Moving on to a mod suggested by Linkor called Checked Mate. A quality 2 passive item. Champions cannot spawn normally. One enemy in the room will be turned into a champion. Killing the champion enemy will kill all other enemies. Champion enemies have more health. Oh. So if you walk into a new room of things that can't have champions, this is a bad example. Flies can't be champions. But for this room, there's only 1 champion, which supposedly has more health than normal now. And I killed it. So it killed everything in the room. And I guess things that can spawn after it don't die. I like this idea. But immediately when thinking about it, one thing comes to mind. Tell me, fellas, what if you go to the challenge where every single enemy is a champion? Will it make it every other enemy cannot be a champion anymore? Okay, so now that we have checked mate, in theory, this should make it so there is only 1 champion per room instead of everything being a champion. Because Ultra Hard forces every enemy. If they can be a champion, they will be a champion. Bad example, these guys can't be champions. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, only one of them is a champion. This is absolutely broken for Ultra Hard then. I think this item is really cool. I think the concept for Checkmate is really cool. I think I put it below Cherry Bomb. I don't think it's a download right now. Well, maybe it is. Heck, maybe it is, man. I think it's cool. I think it's a great idea. Fellas, it's going in download now. It's a good item. Next item we are gonna be looking at is an item called Trumpet of Woe from the Samael mod. This one was recommended by Cinnamon. It looks like an active item, a quality 4 active item. Effect changes on each use. The first use summons Locusts. The second use summons friendly Reapers. Third use summons a friendly Ultra Death. And after that, it loops back to the first effect. Interesting. So Locusts, Reapers, and then a friendly Death. Okay, starts with no charges. Let's not debug it. I'm curious how you get charges. Is it by killing things or just room clear? I'm assuming it's just gonna be room clear. Okay, it is just normal charges. Okay, that's the case. Let me debug 8 and let's see what it looks like. So the first one should be friendly Locusts. Oh, that's cool. That's a bunch of Locusts too. That's like a Soul of Apollyon level of Locusts. Because Soul of Apollyon spawns 15 friendly Locusts, and I believe that was around 15. And the second use, I believe it said, was friendly Reapers. I don't know what a Reaper is. It's that. Interesting. Do they stay in between rooms? They do. I'm afraid they're going to go away. Huh. So obviously the benefit here is you spawn Locusts, you spawn the Reapers, and then obviously you still get the charge for clearing the room after you clear it. But this seems really good. I can see why it's quality 4. But do these guys ever go away? The answer is yes. Yes, they do. So then the third and final use, it says it spawns a friendly Death. And Death is the boss that spawns the scythes and like slows down the room and stuff. Oh, it's Ultra Death from the Beast fight. And he's missing Monstro. Fellas, who wins? Ultra Death or Monstro? Huh. Okay. Okay, so I think the question here now is, obviously we go home with this, right? Because we gotta make sure we fight Ultra Death versus Ultra Death, right? Because I have no items. And the Reapers are kind of pumping some... It's not a whole lot of damage, but I mean, it's decent, consistent damage. Now, we'll need to test it later, but I'm curious if the Reapers synergize with your items. I guess Death, you're in. Because the damage Death is doing isn't a lot. Because I'm curious if Death has a health bar or if he just goes away over time like the Reapers did. Because the Reapers didn't have a health bar. They just went away eventually. So I'd assume he'll go away after he dies. And he died. This seems interesting. Okay. Because I'm curious if it has any synergies. So let me spawn a dummy. So what if I give like Polyphemus? Something that's huge. Does it make their attacks also do more damage? Looks like doing the flat 15. Let me remove Poly. And they're doing 3.5 and attacking faster. Oh, they do synergize with your attacks. Give ourselves Soy Milk. Oh, they attack fast. Oh, they attack fast. Give Technology. Yeah, it seems like it's just the fire rate and the damage you do scales with them, but not any special effects that you have. Yeah, it's cool if they scale off your damage and tier rate. I think it's very cool. The dummy's in the thick of it, for real. Gang on him. Gang up on him, boys. Fucking get him. And still, the snake item we saw earlier did even more damage than that, which is absolutely insane. I think thematically it fits. It's very cool within the game. I think it probably does a bit too much. The balance comes from it doing the Locust effect first, and then the rates, and then Death. And I'm gonna be real, I think the rates are the most broken part about that. I think it's very cool, but is that where I throw it? Because I'm thinking probably like really cool or pretty neat. Because I don't think it's not for me. I do like the idea of the rates a lot. A friendly Death may be a bit too much. And I think the Locust, I think if it was just the friendly rates on like a higher charge, neat since it's broken, it is broken. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Putting it over a neat just because of how broken it is and kind of just needs some fine tuning. So next up on the tier list here, fellas, we're going to be taking a look at a mod suggested by Hidoi. But it is the Gravity Gun from Portal, but now in the Binding of Isaac. It's from Half-Life. Shit. I mean, the Gravity Gun from Half-Life, not Portal. That would be such a... Anyways, so what this item does, it is a quality 0 active item with no charge on it. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer, okay? I'm guessing it just sucks things in. Oh, you just... I grab a spider and then I hold it? Oh, you just hold it in place. Oh, and you can, like, move it around. Okay. Do they ever get let go? Oh, he's turning white? Oh, he died? Okay, let's do this. Let's go find the boss. Does it work on a boss? Okay, boss. It's not working? It's not working? I threw it somehow? How did I throw something? I hold him. Okay, I don't need to hold down the button. He's glowing white. Why is he white? Okay, so you press it again to throw them. Interesting. Why are you white? A great question. What is the range on this? Okay, that's the range. Interesting. Can I pick up things? No, it only works on enemies. Okay. But it doesn't seem to work on bosses. Ike sucked up his ghost before it came out. Idiot. Does not work on you, but does work on bombs. Does not work on bombs. Got it. Let me reset the damage. Okay, just running into the enemy doesn't make it do damage. But it's fully white, which I'm guessing means it's fully charged. You throw it, okay. Like, unironically, I think it is kind of cool. I think if it worked with consumables, like if I could use it to pick up keys and stuff too, that would be sick. The range, I mean, it seems really good. Like, I don't need to shoot tears when I have this. More health on the enemy equals more damage when thrown. I was just assuming everything was doing the same amount of damage, but yeah, maybe the bigger the enemy, the more damage it does. A mulligan, sure. Okay, that did 13 damage. That did 10 damage, okay. That did 6. Okay, it seems very weird, the amount of damage it actually does. Let me turn it white, because before this did 16 damage. That did 8 damage this time. Okay, so whenever you're throwing things, there's like some weird tick things that happen whenever it hits the enemy, depending on how many ticks that happen. Because they all do 1.7 damage, it looks like. It's kind of a weird thing. It's not very consistent damage. I do think it is actually a very interesting concept for an item. In terms of where it goes on the tier list, I think it is an interesting item. I think it, again, goes into pretty neat, but I think it goes into really kind of just not for me. You know, I think it's a little more than birthday gift, because birthday gift is just absolutely broken insane. But if they kind of updated this to do more things and maybe had more synergies and picked up consumables alongside enemies, and the damage it did kind of scaled with the enemy's size, I think that would be very cool. I do love the idea. Like, don't get me wrong, all these mods here are cool. Anybody making mods for the game, this is super sick. But this one, not for me. Next up, we got Anal Fissure. And fellas, this one was recommended to me by SlayXC2. And they really just wanted me to say the item Anal Fissure. So I'm gonna make sure to say Anal Fissure as much as possible, just to appease Slay. And for this bit here, I know Slay did actually just release a video earlier today, which I'll link to you guys. I want to quickly look at just part of that video where Slay kind of explains the item himself, and then we'll jump into us using the item ourselves.
This item will spawn a
spawns
stationary butthole at a random
I feel like he pronounced butthole very well. Sorry.
spot in each uncleared room. Stepping on the butthole will cause it
Sorry.
to poke out of the ground and start shooting tears high into the air. They are spectral and also slightly home in on nearby enemies.
Oh, I see that, okay.
But most importantly, they also create puddles of creep where they land.
So the creep type varies depending on just what it feels like.
Also has a 10% chance to create one of the character's 45 creep mixtures instead.
Okay. So the creep that Slay is referring to here, the character Tarnished Keeper within the Epiphany mod, it's basically an expanded version of Tainted Blue Baby, and basically Tarnished Blue Baby makes a whole lot of different types of creep instead of types of poop. So let's try it out ourselves. Again, what Slay said, spawns a stationary butthole in uncleared rooms. When touched, it spews out puddles of creep, and tears fly high into the air for 25 seconds. 25 seconds is a long time. Hold on. Look at it go. Chat, look at the butthole. I think this is definitely an interesting item. I think this is more in line with items like Purgatory, or the other one that has like a little crack on the floor you go hop on to get a little ghost that hops out and helps you deal damage. Now, this being active for 25 seconds is a long time. The tears, I believe Slay said, do a flat amount of damage. I don't believe it scales with your damage you do. It is a good thing to have just for like easier room clear for some rooms. But obviously with rooms like this and other ones as well, it's not going to be the best for you. Now, the one thing I'm curious about is, does it stack? Like if I just go through and pick up a whole bunch of anal fissures. So now that we have around 10 anal fissures, fellas, holy fellas, it's raining butthole. Okay, this is great. Okay, this is great. This is fantastic. I love this item. It's lagging the game so much. Now I'm curious, does it get buffed with BFF? Okay, does not look like they are bigger. And I assume they're not going to be doing more damage since they're not visually bigger as well. Now, normally you would only get one anal fissure in life, but you know, if you're lucky, you get Diplopia or a Crooked Penny, and you can multiply your anal fissures. Well, fellas, TLDR, anal fissures. It's a great item. Anal fissures, hello? This is a download right heckin' now kind of mod. Above Retractor, of course, it's Anal Fissure. Edmund, take notes.
Anal Fissure solo run win.
I think every item is Anal Fissure. Would be a fantastic one to do. Fellas, note it down, doing it next week. This one was suggested by Rogue Watermelon. They suggested a mod from the Sacred Dreams mod called Dad's Vinyl. A quality 3 passive item. Shops and treasure rooms will have a 50% chance to contain a slot machine that changes the room's pool with a corresponding musical soundtrack. Okay, I guess we have to turn off the music for this one. Does it just change the music? Or does it change the items that spawn in the room? I'm kind of confused on how that works, but I guess we'll see. Okay, so it's only a 50-50 chance this will contain a slot machine. And this one did. And it has the other item we just saw, Retractor Beam. Okay, do I need money? Okay. What did that do? And if I roll it now? No, it's still item room. This is a boss room sound. So I'm curious, if I roll this room now, is it going to go into a boss room item? Seems like it. These are all boss room items. It just seems like a normal soundtrack. Oh, this is secret room? No, it's a shop. Oh, this is shop. Angel room? So this item seems very, very, very interesting, but only in the case when you have a roll, right? Because whenever you walk into a room, initially, this is never playing. You need to feed it money to put on a track, and then if you roll that room, it'll give you items from the room of the music you're listening to. And this is only breakfast? Is this the breakfast soundtrack? Dude, I thought whenever I walk into an item room or a shop, this would already be playing with a different soundtrack than normal. And then the item that would spawn here initially would come from the soundtrack that it's coming from. But since you need to pay this thing money first and then roll the item, I think it does make it a bit harder for you to make use of it, because you're never going to find a roll in every single run unless you're playing Isaac. But if you explode the machine, what happens? It spawns an item? From the room, from the... Is that guaranteed? Because it spawned a devil item because we were listening to devil room music. I don't think it's guaranteed to spawn an item. I think we just got lucky. But let's see. Let's listen to some good music. Or a library. Let's do a library. It's fine. I'm going to blow it up. And it spawns an item from that room we're listening to. So you have a 50-50 shot to just get an extra item from whatever item pool you basically want. But to be fair, you kind of have to understand what music is from which item pool. But that's really good. You know, let me go to the next floor. And let's see if the next two that spawn on this floor also give you items. Just to really make sure I'm not just getting lucky. Okay, it didn't spawn in here. We lost the 50-50. It happens. Okay, we got it here. I didn't mean to buy it. That's fine. Is this library? This is Angel. Blow it up. Lazarax. Really? And then it goes back to normal because it's broken afterwards. Okay. But it's a guaranteed item. That's insane. That is absolutely insane of an item. This item is insane. I do like the concept of this item a lot, and kind of just knowing. You kind of have to know the soundtracks for everything to make sure you get the items you want. Again, you get the most benefit whenever you get rerolls. But even if you don't have a reroll, if the homophone thing always guarantees you get an item whenever you blow it up, that's a crazy, crazy good item. So fellas, I think you download it. This shit's cool. It's wacky. It's different. It's absolutely busted broken. It should definitely be a quality 4, not a quality 3. I'm putting it next to Cherry Bomb because it is a very similar case with Cherry Bomb. I think Cherry Bomb and Dad's Vinyl are very similar in case they both come in a big mod pack. Both of these items are very cool in what they do, but I don't want to download the whole mod. I just want to play with the item. I don't want to play with all your new fancy stuff. I just want funny, cool item. What about Anal Fissure? It's worth it. Anal Fissure is worth downloading Epiphany for because Anal Fissure isn't broken. Anal Fissure is just a funny item. The mod we're looking at next is from the mod Virtues, which we needed REPENTAGON for. And this one's from Nick over in my Discord. The mod from Virtues we're looking at is an item called Diligence. I think I have the sprite actually incorrect on my sheet, but this is supposed to be Diligence. I think I picked the wrong Diligence item. Quality 3 passive item towards a Saint transformation. Not too sure what that is. Picking up a quality 0 item grants 0.17 speed, 0.5 tears, 0.7 damage, and 1.7 range. Picking up a quality 1 items give half the stats. Quality 3 items revoke the stat amount. Revoke that amount of stats. And quality 4 items reset the stats. So basically, the more trashy items I get, quality 0 and quality 1, the more stats I get overall. But if I ever get a quality 3, my stats will go down. If I ever get a quality 4, all of my stats reset to what they were when I first picked up this item. That seems very interesting. And I'm also curious if the tears up you get from this will go past the guy. I'm assuming it won't. We also look very funny. We look terrified. So map is a quality 2, so nothing will happen. On quality 2 pickup, we get nothing. So let's give myself $1. I want some low quality items here, please. Actually, this gives me a stats down, right? It did not give me stats down. Got it. Quality 2 will do nothing. Quality 2 will also do nothing. Can I get... You're still quality 2? Okay. Quality 2 item. Quality 1 item. Okay. So on pickup, it did give me stats, even for an active item. Now, assuming I can't just pick it up again. That would be silly. Okay, that would be silly. So since I picked up the quality 3 before I got any stats from Diligence, it did not give me any stats down, because the stats down it gives you only comes from the stats it currently has on it. Give myself Binge Eater. That would be actually an insane combo. Binge Eater with this. Now, sadly, Binge Eater reset all of my stats since it is a quality 4. But going forward, all the food ups are quality 1s. I'm sorry, you get the stat ups from Diligence, which will revert the stats and the speed down you get from Binge Eater. Spawn Tiny Planet. What if we just spawned a whole bunch of them? 1 billion tiny planets, please. And some food. Fellas, we're insane. So, obviously I got some stats from Binge Eater as well. But if for some reason you somehow got a billion tiny planets, it looks like the tiers up you get from Diligence does go past the cap. So that's kind of good. Like, obviously I gave myself, what, 11 tiny planets, 11 quality 0 items. Which you're most likely not going to find 11 quality 0 items on your run. But with that being said, if you find half the amount of this, it is very good. But I think it is a very, very unique item. Because this lets you now think about, do you want to pick up the Tech X or the C section to remove all of the stats you get from Diligence? Like, you now have to think about this scenario, and do I want to pick up Brimstone? Like, most items don't have you think about that. So I like the idea of Diligence a lot. It'll change a lot about how you play the run the earlier you get it. And I do like that aspect. So that being said, I know it's the wrong sprite here, pretend it's the right one. But fellas, Diligence, I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. I think it's very unique in how it makes you think. It's not super overcomplicated. Obviously, it doesn't have synergies because it doesn't really need that many synergies besides like Binge Eater and maybe Rock Bottom. But I do like this concept a lot. It is very cool. Items that require tough choice isn't fun. I disagree. Items that change how you think about the game are inherently, I think, the best items in the game. Because they stray away from the game from the norm. Most of the time. Like the Wiz, no. It still needs to be fun. Like Tiny Planet is still fun. That's why I like Tiny Planet. It changes how you play, but how you play whenever you get Tiny Planet is still fun. Next up in the REPENTAGON items we're looking at, we got something from the LazyMattpack, the Comically Large Spoonbender. Now, I know LazyMatt made his own video talking about all the items in his LazyMattpack, or at least some of them. So, Comically Large Spoonbender, it's a rare, super rare, quality 5 item. Strong homing tiers. Homing tiers will have infinite range for as long as they are attracted to an enemy. When being attracted to 2 enemies at once, a tier will split into 2, and each tier has a 0.66 damage that will home in on both enemies separately. Huh? You just become I? Okay, this is a perfect room to test it. Okay, so if they ever home in on more things, I'm curious if the split tiers. I just want to get rid of the poops. Like, do the split tiers split into more tiers? Doesn't look like it. It looks like it only splits once. That's real. This is really good because if it ever homes into an enemy, you get additional range. Like, obviously, it's a meme item where the name is a Comically Large Spoonbender. Which, you know what? That's fair. It is a really, really good item. Obviously, Spoonbender as is a crazy good item. And just making it even better by... Basically, it doesn't double your damage. Basically, it makes you do 1.2 times your damage, more or less. But the additional range you get from the homing, so basically never misses. And the splitting shots it does is absolutely insane. Try synergies. What would synergize well, chat? I know LazyMatt has a whole video on this one, so I'm not going to go too much into synergies, but if y'all are curious, I'm sure LazyMatt went over a lot of synergies in this video. Linked in description, fellas. Tech X. Let's try Tech X. Okay, it doesn't look... Oh, yeah. It does just a spin around an enemy, because it does get infinite range. So it's kind of just spin. Okay, let's go to Hush, actually. And let's give ourselves soy milk as well. Just we shoot a bunch of them. Now, I'm curious if I slow down, will they spin around the enemy more? So give myself Dead Onion. That'll slow down my shot speed. Give myself Ease Mascara. Should slow down my shot speed quite a bit. Okay, they do, like, circle back onto Hush. Yeah, no, this item's crazy. Now I'm curious, how many can we get stuck on there? How many? All right, what else besides Tech X works well, though? Any split shot. All right, let's give it Parasite. You know what? Classic Parasite. Yeah, so all the different split shots are also homing back in on the enemy. Give Cricket's Body as well, just to really, really sell it. Ow. Yeah, it seems kind of good. Oh my god, I'm shooting once. And it's splitting that many times. That's insane. That's insane. Give Cupid's Arrow for some piercing as well. Why not? Okay. Yes, piercing with split shots with this seems, infinite range plus piercing. Yeah, it seems kind of good. Yeah, so this item's kind of good. Obviously, LazyMatt, and I believe it was Headcrab who made the mod. They know it's broken. I think it's kind of just for fun, and they recognize that. Fellas, comically large Spoonbender is comically funny. I think it is very good. I think it's a bit too silly. Like, I get it. Having very broken items is funny. I understand. I think it's a bit too silly. It's not, no, don't call me Mr. No Fun. I think it is a fun item, but we all have to agree it's too silly. Like, obviously, all the quality 5 items that are in the LazyMattpack are there to be silly. Like, this is the category it deserves to be in. It is silly. Beyond silly can be. Fellas, it's like one or the other. You download it now or it's too silly. It's one or the other. I think it's like riding the line where it's like going above the graph and wrapping back down again. It's like in between the top and the bottom. Some would say that goes in the middle. I say up here. In the spirit of the item, we split it in 2. Next one was submitted by Sumstruck from the Revelations mod, Glutton's Gut. So Glutton's Gut is an active item with a 4-room charge, quality 2, consumes nearby enemies and projectiles. Throws a projectile that scales based off how many things you have consumed. Alternatively, you may swallow to heal a full heart. I see what you mean, Sumstruck, when you said it acts like Kirby. So basically, you suck up enemies and you're able to either spit them back out or continue sucking up enemies to do more damage whenever you do spit them out. Okay. What is that, child? I murdered them? Okay, do I spit them out? Oh, interesting. So the more things I suck up, I can do more damage. And if I press it again, I'll heal, supposedly. Interesting. So can I carry it between rooms? I can. This is actually really cool. I even sucked up the Eternal Fly? Oh, poor guy. So I'm curious how much damage things do. Suck these guys up. And let's spawn a dummy. This 8.8 damage per tick. Give Polyphemus just to see if it scales with my damage. Okay. It still did 8.8 per tick. So I think it's around the same, but I think more tiers hit it. Give. Okay, I kind of love this item. Okay, you can only suck up enemies. Can you suck up bosses? Obviously, I have infinite charges. Typically, this item requires more than, you know, it requires a 4-room charge. Can I suck up a boss? I can suck up their tears. I can suck up their tears? I mean, when you can suck up their tears, you go to Hush, right? I'm gonna give you Spider Mod. I'm curious how much damage this is all doing. Okay, it did 81 damage whenever I hit him. I'm sucking them all up. Holy shit. I hit him with it. Okay. It still did around the same. Like, I don't think it's scaling up that much with as much things as I have. I mean, it is crazy. This is a crazy item. Obviously, it's kind of insane because I can use it multiple times in the room. Typically, you can only use it, like, basically 1 time every 4 rooms. But in a case like this is very funny. But I think it is very funny. I think the utility of this item is really just to use it to heal and to help you dodge some tier patterns. It is very, very funny. I don't think it's good meant for, like, late game bosses like this. But for smaller bosses and room clear and additional healing, this is very, very good and very funny. I like this item a lot. I think it's very interesting. It's very cool. It's not broken. I think it deserves quality too. This is the kind of item I like a lot. Where the item isn't broken, it's just fun. It's just fun. Y'all are saying pretty neat. But this is like the case of an item. It doesn't need to be broken for you to download. It fits in the theme of the game. It's fun to use. It's not broken. There are scenarios where like it helps you heal. It helps you do more things. I think it's a great item. But fellas, we got one last item we're looking at here. This one was suggested by Rome. No Rome Live over on Twitch, over on YouTube. He suggested we take a look at the mod Benevolence. In Benevolence, there's an item called Bursting Vision, which is this one here. I'm gonna guess it's some kind of like quintuple shot. I would only assume. Bursting Vision is a quality 3 passive item that just says pentastic. You shoot 5 tears and the mouth is now in the middle of the head. And Kane's other eye just to go with it. Why not? Do you also shoot 5 tears? You sure do. I don't think there's anything really to look at with this one. It's really just you shoot 5 tears now, which, hey, sick. You know, it's in theme with Isaac. We have a triple shot. We have a quadruple shot. We have a double shot. Now we have a quintuple shot. And let me give myself another bursting vision. How many tears do I shoot now? Fellas, anyone count here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We all know 5 plus 5 equals 7. So if that's how it works, you get 2 additional tears for every one you get. So we should, in theory, get 9 after this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, what if I give myself 2020? Because we all know 2020 lowers the fire rate if you have triple shot or a mutant spider. I'm curious if this also reduces my fire rate. And it does. Okay, it's the same kind of synergy. Plum, I'm so sorry. Fellas, who knew? Having 30 shots is kind of broken. Nothing insane, nothing breaking the molds, fellas. I do think it's really cool. Unironically, I think it's really cool. It finishes our reverse staircase here. And fellas, ignore this paintbrush. We couldn't get it to work. It's not even there. Don't even worry about it. This is the modding tier list. With these 15 items, I recommend getting the funny spoon, getting a checkmate, getting Kirby, getting Retractor Beam, and getting Anal. Fellas, thanks for watching the video. Links to all the mods are gonna be in the description if y'all want to play any of them. Thanks for watching the video. Go like and subscribe to the channel. Everyone go like and subscribe right now. Please do it. Otherwise, I'm gonna die. Boom. And then we stop the recording.